So I want to make a playlist on which and how Cura settings and 3D printing settings alter and make actual tangible practical changes to your 3D prints. And the first one is going to be print speed. So print speed in Cura is the rate and the speed in millimeters per second in which the printer head is moving. So if you think about a model that's really big, the print head has to move a lot, and so a faster print speed is really going to speed up that print and allow you to print it in a much faster fashion. However, if you have something that is more vertical than it is wide, or something that is really small, then print speed probably isn't going to really give you too many advantages. Do note that a higher print speed could mean that you have to change the temperature to ensure that the filament that is being extruded is able to do so with a faster print speed. Also note that you can change the print speed on different portions of the print. So, for example, you can have the outside of the print be at a low print speed because this is what you're going to see. You want to ensure that it's accurate and looks the best as it can. Whereas the infill, you can really jump up the print speed, make that faster to print, because who really cares if it's not quite as accurate or doesn't look as good within the print? You're not going to see it. So what I want to do today is print the same object 3 times using 3 different print speeds and just take a look at what is the tangible difference of those. So note that this is a very simplistic change and test. I'm keeping all of the settings exactly the same except for print speed, and this thing is kind of small, but again it gives us a general idea of what to expect for print speed and how it may vary. So that is where we come to the 3 columns. So one of these columns was done with 25, 50, and 100. And I want to dive into which one was which. So first of all, they all look pretty good. And to be honest, could I have added some supports on the bottom right here on the overhang? Yeah. But I wanted to see how it did with the different print speeds and if it mattered. So again, this was not the biggest print in the world by any stretch. It didn't take that much filament, but the time savings was pretty dramatic. So I'm going to put those on the screen. By going through 100 millimeters per second to 25, you are almost doubling the speed at which you're printing and saving yourself a lot of time. And of course, you have to weigh what are you printing? Is the little bit of extra precision or accuracy worth that extra time investment? In this case, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it was. So on the left, let me double check. On the left was 100, on the right was 25, and in the middle was 50. So if you look at the 25, we still have overhangs. Now, if we look at it, I think personally they are very comparable to the 100 millimeter overhangs, meaning that the extra speed that the printer head has, which you associate with, okay, less accurate potentially, isn't really the case in this situation, which I thought, again, was very interesting because I thought there would be a bigger difference. So for the 25, it's going to be really hard to tell. There's just a super minor amount of stringing. Nothing like in the piece that we just saw. Nothing that bad. Again, these look pretty comparable. I'm not going to lie. I think the 25 may be a tad better in some regards, but I mean, it's so small. Like the 100, you can see just the layer height and just some of the lines on the bottom part of this pedestal don't look as good as the 25. But again, is that worth 2 extra hours on the underside of an overhang? No, it's really not in my opinion. And then, as you would expect, 50 is somewhere in the middle. Like, it's honestly, I think the 50 almost looks just as good. So you can see, again, it's going to be maybe tough for you. I apologize, but there's on the top part of this design, there's a little bit of overhang that's hanging down that doesn't happen here with the 25 at all. So, I mean, again, it's not as good. But so what did we learn here? So, again, I know it's a very simplistic test, but to me, this has shown that print speed in some, I honestly, for me, in a lot of ways, is definitely a setting that I don't change as often, but I should. Because from a 100 millimeter per second to a 25 saves half the time for prints about this size. Again, I know it's small, but to be honest, a lot of prints that I do are this size. And if anything, you are going to be saving more time the bigger print you're going to have. And the quality really is not any worse. I kept the same settings for everything else. So this goes to show that you really should consider changing print speed even if you want accurate prints, because it may not make that big of a difference for you and your printer. I printed this on an Ender 3. I used a bed heat of 50 Celsius. I used a nozzle heat of 200, and I'm using Hatchbox filament. Of course, all of those things are going to make a difference on your specific printer and your specific results. But I really think this is a good showcase to say, you know, for me, I need to change my print speed more. Even if it's just print speed for the infill and not the outside. That's going to really save you time on your prints. And again, your print quality is going to be just as good, because this is a rather challenging print with these overhangs, with the design here built into the column. If it could print this, it could print a lot of things that are less complex or as complex and do it in a much faster time. If you got any questions, please comment below. Let me know what other settings you would like to see tested and adjusted, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the series.